silly as a goose.
That's fair.
Alright. Stream regular Mark Anliker playing his Naya
Pacifier.
Pacifier.
We've nicknamed it Naya Pacifier.
Naya Pacifier with, he's just got so many sleeves.
Playing against Paul Koerbel. Hopefully he's not horrible. Haha.
Yeah, so this deck you're looking at from Mark is only 60 cards, but it is huge.
61.
It was 61 last we checked in. John's right.
Could
As he
be
often
60.
is. As he often is. He just likes to
rerolling
hear...
the one. Rerolling the one. What savagery. I guarantee you wouldn't have picked that up if it was a 6.
What?
Mark Anliker is a savage.
Oh, nice.
Is what I'm saying. Paul playing Blue Moon with those fancy fresh Bolas Islands.
Oh, yeah.
Scry 2,
Get
top and bottom.
Get your horns out. I wonder if the Bolas Islands are more valuable in Texas.
Don't think so.
They should be.
Why?
Because they had the Longhorns.
Oh, horns. Got it. Yeah, I didn't get that originally, but now I got it.
Oh, do you?
So the deck isn't quadruple sleeved. He's running a token behind every card. I forget. He told me why, but it didn't make any sense. And so I just kind of nodded and smiled.
It has something to do with the fact that he likes flip cards.
Yeah, he doesn't like playing the checklist card.
Right. He doesn't like playing the
So,
checklist card.
because he didn't like playing the checklist card, he put a token behind all of his other cards.
I almost just want to go, like, give him a pack of the Dragon Shield Perfect Fit Smokes.
He doesn't like those either.
I don't understand.
He doesn't like understanding or making sense.
Reasonable. These are all reasonable things. So he has made a series of plays here that yield him 3 damage. And the we get more islands. And I think it's less about
We're mana leaking the second Nicodle. Interesting.
okay.
I would have much rather seen a mana leak on the Noble Hierarch there.
Mm-hmm.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Oh, that Jace is going to be good. That's going to be a good Jace.
So, Blood Moon is just a lot less impressive in a room where everybody knows everybody.
Where everybody knows your name. Boom, boom, boom. And you're always glad you came.
Boom, boom. You be where people can't see. People all know your name. You wanna go where everybody...
Alright, so we're just jamming a snap here.
It's just... This card is just...
Just a Snapcaster.
Yeah.
Alright, so Snap protects this Jace.
Okay.
We're going to be able to plus Jace here.
Which one?
Not going to do a ton here. It's going to shrink this Nicodle to a 3/4 on offense. Path the Snap. I got to imagine Paul's fine with that. He's not going to be able to protect his Jace, but he got a land out of it.
Yep. And here's 5 mana if he wants it. When Mark gets to this number of mana, he can really just start casting like the big reasons he's playing the deck. Arlin Cord, Huntmaster of the Fells, cards like that.
Alright, so can we just say that this Jace art that's been brought up for us is atrocious?
Yeah, this is not the best version of this card.
And now let's get it out of here. I'm getting sick just looking at it. There we go.
It's the version from the dual decks, and that's...
It's just not okay. Alright, so we've got a Jace minus. So this reveals the top 3. You can split them into 2 piles.
And
It's
then,
a mini factor fiction.
And then Paul will pick 1.
Paul's going to get 2 cards here. Or 1 Chandra. And the rest go on the bottom to prevent graveyard shenanigans. Snap, Serum Visions. Serum Visions, set up another land drop. Both on top, which means he got his land. There it is. I'm surprised to not see this Blood Moon come down. It doesn't do a lot here, but it's doing even less in your hand.
There's 5. Catches a blocker.
Alright, so kind of surprised that Mark has committed another creature to the board here, knowing full well that this Chandra's coming down.
Yeah, I really don't understand. He's
Maybe
got 3 cards in hand. Is he a mountain?
Maybe he's got a super sneaky tech here. Like a Mana Tithe. No Mana Tithe. Nothing to save his guys.
Here's a big 6-mana Planeswalker.
No flash creature. No Scrib Ranger here to turn.
Poised to take over this game.
Yeah, if Mark doesn't have a hasty guy here, this is going to be...
I think he's reduced to Stirring Wildwood, taking out the
Stirring Wildwood's fine. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. That's good. Didn't even see the Stirring Wildwood there. I guess he played it that turn.
Still got just so much value there. You got 3 creatures
and basically a time walk.
And a time walk for
Here's a better Jace.
For his 1 Chandra. I mean, it's
still does the same thing, but much better, much easier on the eyes, we'll say.
Yeah, this Jace has been lifting, man. Like look at the tight waist. He's strong through the shoulders.
I don't know that he's strong. I think he's just wearing a lot of layers. Like, you can't wear a cloak without looking like you're strong in the shoulders.
Do I just need to start wearing more cloaks?
Do you want to look like you're strong in the shoulders?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
All right, then go for it, man.
All right. Somebody tell my mother that I'd like a cloak for my birthday.
Get right on that.
I suppose if you're gonna planeswalk to, a cloak becomes kind of necessary, right?
Yeah, cloak is the towel of the Magic the Gathering multiverse.
Don't forget to bring a cloak.
Definitely need one of those. It's very multi-purpose. Which, if we're being honest, is basically just a long towel that you wear around your shoulders.
Yeah, could you use your cloak as a towel?
Yeah, why not?
I've always wondered that, like on like your D&D campaign, like you're showering somewhere. What are you drying off with?
Usually bathing.
Well, yeah, in a river, stream.
Yeah, I mean,
lake.
You got stuff to dry off. You just walk around nude.
A tavern.
You just air dry it out.
I guess if you're at a tavern, they probably have linen services there, don't they?
I don't know, man. Depends on the tavern. It's a pretty nice tavern.
Jay's gonna draw some more cards.
He's got a boomerang in hand. And look at this. Here comes...
Literally the card Boomerang?
Literally the card Boomerang. So here we see the Blood Moon. Of note, if he would have cast the Blood Moon when I said he should have cast the Blood Moon, he would still have his Chandra.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that, Stirring Wildwood, no sir.
Would have been a mountain. Yeah, and this game has gone on to the point where Paul reached pretty much inevitability, even though Mark's at 14.
Here's the Tameo.
He's just going to continue to cast...
Scoops it up. All right.
Planeswalkers.
Mark's seen enough. He knows that he can't come back from all these Planeswalkers. Manland shut down. Knees weak. Arms are heavy. He's got Planeswalkers on the board already.
Yeah.
Mom spaghetti.
So, sideboarding here, I imagine Mark is interested in creatures that can't be countered. So if he doesn't already have 4 Loxodon on Smiters, I imagine he goes up to 4 Loxodon on Smiters.
Certainly. I know he's got the Smiters. We saw him play against Control last week. We know he's got Cavern, which helps a lot. I think it's less about having creatures that can't be countered and more about being able to present an early clock. So I don't know if he's got the full 4 Voice of Resurgence, but I gotta imagine that they're somewhere in the 75 and they need to come in.
Yeah, and probably cards like Path to Exile come out.
Yeah, what's that card doing?
Well, I mean, it's a fine...
Absolutely nothing.
It's a great main deck card, but
Path.
I'm not...
Huh. Good God, Joe.
But you're not... You outclass his Snapcaster Mages, which is the only creature I saw there.
Yeah.
So you get to just take those out and bring in whatever 4 cards you want out of your sideboard. Hopefully some dudes.
How about some Scavenging Ooze? That'd be pretty sick.
Oh yeah, I'm into that.
You also saw Logic Knot, so I mean, eating away just incidentally at those cards in the graveyard could be good to turn off Delve there.
Yeah, it could be critical.
Mark should just show up with like some legendary creature and put it on top of his deck like it's a commander. His opponent asks what's going on. He's like, oh, sorry, we're playing modern, and then just shuffle it in.
What modern legal legendary creature would you want to command his deck?
To command Mark's deck?
Yeah. Mile, probably.
No, Mile doesn't do much in his deck. He's got a lot of small guys. A lot of little fellas. Huntmaster would be commander, but it doesn't give you white. We're looking for Naya guys.
The Godsire?
Yeah, Godsire's just not exciting. Oh. Oh.
He did it.
Oh.
Go for it.
Oh.
Lay it on me.
Samet.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I'd want to be.
Card out of this Amonkhet set.
Oh, absolutely.
Gives things first strike and haste and does all kinds of craziness. It's got so many keywords.
Swinging for 3. This is where you want to be. I don't know what he was on last turn or last game when he was swinging with his 2/2s. He could have 3s, but I wasn't really paying attention. So that's on me. That's my bad, y'all.
Alright.
Oh, another 3/3. If he can avoid getting these Anger of the Gods away, he's going to be in tremendous shape. Just needs to dodge Anger 1 turn. I mean, he's going to definitely... Oh, we're mana leaking the second one. Okay, that's fine. I was going to say, we're definitely dodging Anger this turn because he fetched for a basic island. Steve Menson to play tapped. We'll probably get a free attack here for 3.
Yep, there you go.
I think Paul's going to lean on this Logic Knot. If Mark has a Smiter, it's going to be a big game, but he doesn't have a creature. Man.
Yeah, I wonder about the creature density in this Naya list. I mean...
We've seen a lot of different creatures. I mean, if he's got 4 ofs, then you would imagine that...
He's got... I mean, I want 28 creatures in this deck?
Okay, end of turn, counter your bolt, bounce your wild, and coddle. That's not great here, but it's pretty good. It leaves you completely open to whatever Mark can pull up. Let's see if Mark can capitalize. 4th mana is a Arid Mesa. An Arid Mesa, as it were.
What do we got here?
Fetch. Down to 19, still playing around the Blood Moon here.
Correct.
Which is smart. I would have definitely kept Blood Moon in if I'm Paul, just to shut off manlands. Knight of the Reliquary is a pretty pretty solid play here. And then
Had to
replay
have-
the Nikotl.
Had to have drawn it because he just refused to play anything last turn.
Well, maybe he wanted to protect it and not run into counter spells, which I think is wrong, but it's certainly an option.
I wonder how
Here's the Knight of the Reliquary. Engineered explosives on 3.
there you go.
That's an answer. So Knight of the Reliquary is good in that it's going to be able to grow incrementally as the game goes on. Don't know how much he wants to invest into it by sacrificing his lands now. Just because this Engineered Explosives is looming. Very high on attacking in here. Just swing for 6. Which is likely going to get downgraded to an attack for 3. But it again gets you past Paul's counter magic.
Right. Gets Paul's whole turn is taken up here. So if you do the math here, Paul has spent 5 mana to deal with Mark's 3 mana threat.
Yeah.
Which puts him behind. This is normally counterspells are very good because the counterspell often costs less than
Right.
the card it's countering, which is it gives you an advantage that way.
In this case, and we're talking about a removal spell here,
Right.
which is a little bit different, but yeah, it's still the same thing. So we're going down to 9 here. Pop this. We're taking 3 to save 3. Not thrilled about that, but you gotta do what you gotta do. 5. We've got a Baneslayer. Alright, so let's see what Paul can come up with. He's down to 6. Facing down lethal.
There's a
Kolaghan's Command? That seems really loose. I don't know what...
that's a Kozilek's return.
Or Kozilek's return. Sorry, that's what I meant.
There's a Baneslayer Angel. This card dominated its standard environment, and it's about
Dominated about half of its standard environment.
for a time it dominated its standard environment.
It dominated a standard environment.
A standard environment was dominated while this card was legal.
Alright, so we've chosen to Snapcaster,
Cryptic Command,
target
apparently.
Cryptic Command, I'd imagine.
And so this mana disadvantage has happened twice. So the original casting of this Cryptic Command was to counterspell a Lightning Bolt and bounce a Wild Nikotl. So it required Mark to spend 2 mana for Paul's 4.
Right.
I'm not saying this is the be-all and end-all. I'm saying this is something to pay attention to when you're playing control decks, or building your control decks, or building your aggro decks against control decks. Something to think about.
Down to 6. Jace keeps you alive a turn. If he doesn't ever... Well, no, it keeps you alive a turn no matter what. No, if he doesn't have removal. If he has removal, you're just dead. Down ticking.
Well, this doesn't keep him alive. Gonna have 2 mana here. Yeah, you can't split the lands. Man, splitting 3 cards is much easier than splitting 5.
We just cut a deck for no reason.
We're about to shuffle the deck, so...
Does Mark have to cut a deck? I don't know that we are going to shuffle. I don't think he can afford to take the damage here.
So if the Baneslayer just attacks alone, the Exalted trigger is offset by the Jace trigger. Jace didn't plus. You're right. Man.
So I think his out there was to just pass and hope that Mark goes in wide to play around the bounce.
Alright, so he's going to fetch, and Mark's going to think about it.
How do you tap? Is the question mark here? Here's the question here. I don't know. I don't know what you mean there. You'll have to be more specific, buddy.
Ooh, this is a mistake. Paul had the wrong life total. Alright, your draw color of the Horizon Canopy.
So, likely, Paul's just dead unless Mark is going to play around a bounce spell. I don't know that he saw the boomerang in game 1, though.
Yeah. Boomerang's a big one.
Just memeing. Alright, man. Meme on. I appreciate it.
Oh, is that a meme? How do you tap a meme?
I don't think so.
Listen, I get 100% of my meme knowledge from you and our mutual friend Brandon.
Sure.
I wake up every morning to a stream of memes in our group chat from these two.
You're welcome.
No, it's wonderful, because then I know what memes are hot that day.
Yeah, so you can invest your money into the meme market.
Yeah, man. You gotta keep that hot meme action going. So he's got Voice of Resurgence, which makes his attack really nice.
He's dead.
Alright.
Stone dead.
So there's one game apiece.
Alright, so now we're going to go to game 3. If I'm Paul, these Kozilek's returns don't do anything at all, so I want them out of my deck.
Concur.
But Paul's content to just shuffle here, so I gotta think that maybe he forgot his sideboard at home.
Yeah. I don't hate this deck, personally.
Which deck?
This Blue Moon deck. But I think it has a tough matchup here against this Naya deck.
So I do hate the Blue Moon deck.
Okay. Because it has Blood Moon in it?
So any deck that's built around Blood Moon is just like, you can just lose if they draw their mana correctly.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not down with that.
Okay, you want to play some Magic.
Not only do I want to play some Magic, I don't want to bank on my opponent drawing poorly. Because they always draw the nut against me. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If I'm going to win, it's because I outplayed my opponent.
Savagely. John Douglas has never gotten lucky to win a game.
I don't want to say that.
Alright, we won't say that.
But we're thinking it. Mountain Go is the lead here. Birds of Paradise eats a bolt. A telegraphed bolt at that. Island Go. Probably going to represent Mana Leak here.
Or Remand.
What about Red White Prison? Deck is garbage.
That deck's sick.
Sick as in terminally ill and it should be put out of its misery. I agree.
No, sick as in I think it's a very good deck.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
It's a deck that deserves a lot of petting. And who's a good deck? Who's a good deck?
Not Red White Prison.
Alright. So Mark passes on turn 2. He needed that bird to survive. Would have really put him over the top, but
Yeah, I don't know what Paul's plan is here. He doesn't have another land. He's just sitting on counter magic.
Mark missed his third land drop.
He drew an Anger of the Gods, which is a pretty big deal. Explosives on 1.
Yeah, that's not the worst. Alright.
Good call, Mr. Mighty. I also like the person in the red shirts deck. I think it's really good.
I think they're red shirts well positioned to do well in this game.
Jace is good here on an empty board. Goodness. This is the kind of play that Paul needs to just run away with this. Ticking up is aggressive, though. He really wants another land. I guess he's willing to get another draw step.
So he's got some removal in his hand. He's got... he hit his land drop that turn, so putting an additional land in his hand was not like premium, where it's ticking up...
Well, it is because he's got a Tameo.
Alright, so here's a Jace.
We're gonna get 2 lands, it looks like.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Oh, Tammy only cost 5, so yeah, you were correct there. That should have Tammy the Moon Sage. She was important part of the story on the Innistrad storyline.
The shadows of Innistrad storyline.
Well, she came in there at the end of the last Innistrad storyline.
You mean the first Innistrad storyline?
Yeah, the first one. Anyway, this card was a premium card in her standard environment out of the Avacyn Restored set.
Yeah, it was a very solid one of in a couple of fringe decks.
This card got so much play.
Yeah, it's a one of.
In fringe decks? No.
So there was like a week where Blue-White Spirits was good, and this was a one of in that deck. I was also a one of in the Delver decks that didn't know how to build Delver.
Okay.
And I think that's it.
All right. I guess that is what it is. Here's a Huntmaster.
Guess it is what it is. Huntmaster's not bad here, providing multiple bodies for one creature, rather one spell.
I will not lie. I cannot think of a game I have ever watched where a player has won through 3 planeswalkers.
Yeah, man. I have to think long and hard about this. I don't think I have either.
Yeah, I feel like I would just know. I would have that one saved in my mind.
Yeah, I remember having 3 planeswalkers played against me, but I don't remember. I definitely didn't win that game. I've won a game where people have played 3 planeswalkers during the game, but not like had 3 planeswalkers out on the board.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've definitely beaten like multiple Lilianas in Modern.
The way to build Delver is to throw it in the trash. In Standard, Delver was a hell of a Magic card.
Yeah,
in
Paul's
Modern, it's
gonna
also
take this
really
one
good,
down. 3 planeswalkers is too overwhelming, and Mark fell behind pretty early there.
Yeah, he wasn't able to fetch for the appropriate land because he feared the Blood Moon.
Yeah, and you don't fear the Reaper.
Yeah, maybe don't fear the Reaper.
We're going to be back here next Tuesday, 6:30 Eastern Time.
Yeah, it's going to be sweet. But don't wait that long.
Come back tomorrow.
Come back tomorrow. We've got the good Jun brother, Kyle Kepi, on the mic with DJ Jason Morgan spitting the 1s and 2s.
Okay. So they'll bring you some standard action, some sweet standard.
And I'm sure they'll be talking about the
band, the big bad band.
The big bad Marvel ban that's on everybody's mind. It doesn't go into effect until next Monday.
Right.
But it's still, fairly exciting to talk about, speculate, etc., etc.
All right. Well, you guys have a great night. Sleep tight. Talk to you then.